What's going on, everyone? Talen here, and welcome to another character rank up video. Alright, so I'm going to be ranking up Gambit in this video here. So as you can see, I finally got around to getting an X-Gene selector, so we do have Gambit unlocked and ready to rank up here. And yes, as you can see down there, I have been saving up his bios. We're already at 390 of them, so he's just been kind of sitting there collecting dust. So I figure it's finally time to rank him up. And of course we're using all of those bios for his gears. We're not using that on anything else. So we are going to be using a mega rank up ticket on him. So let's go ahead and get that going there. Boom, there we go. Alright, 6 stars, very good. And then for the mastery here, since as you can see I'm very low on those MCron shards, thanks to the Mr. Fantastic Epic Quest, we are going to be using a mega rank up for the mastery as well. So here we go. Alright, there we go. So what is that? Kinetic Precision. So he's got, an Ignore Dodge leadership. Alright, awesome. There's only a few characters with those right now, so that could be useful for Shadowland and things like that. Maybe Corvus. So not too bad. Let's go ahead and get him leveled up here. Gonna need, what, about 1880 of these chips? 1885, I think is what the number ended up being. But let's get down there. Come on, let's go. And I think we want to go to like 82. Is that right? Oh, no, not quite. The 85 that I initially said was probably the right number to go, but there we are. Alright, level 60, and what do we got? Thieves Guild Master. Nice. Alright, so now let's go ahead and take a look at the skills here, so if we want to level anything up. So nothing on that one. We've decreased all speed here. Could level that up just for the heck of it. It's not really going to do anything against World Boss Ultimate or anything like that. Same with this skill here, the bleed damage. Removes elasticity. Oh, where did that come from? That must be new since that is Mr. Fantastic. So I must have just patched that in or something. Because we did have like, what, 3 small downloads or something over the past couple days at the launch of the app, so maybe that was from one of those. Fracture, and oh, here we go, we got something to level up here, so we're going to get some all defense down. Very nice, very premium ability right there to help with the damage output. Then we have a chance to penetrate. Pretty much, was that everything? Super armor, barrier shield, all damage immune, and invincible. Yeah, it looks like it pierces everything. Increase all attack, all speed, crit rate, remove incapacitate, use the V-pad while using the skill. Alright, let's go ahead and level this up, see what that goes up to. So we're going to go up to a 25% all attack, 10% all speed, and 25% crit rate. And apply to self, it's still only a 5% chance? What? Excuse me? 5%? 5% chance to penetrate. Okay. That's extremely low, but I mean, at least we're getting some boosts out of this. That's really weird. 5%? Is that bugged? Anyway, we have a 5% chance to pierce, but then we have a up to 60% defense reduction on the enemies, which is really nice. So definitely happy to have that one. And what is this on? A 6.5 second cooldown, and we can have that up for 10 seconds, so you can have this up pretty much the entire fight. Very good. So I don't need to worry about rolling Power the Angry Hulk, because we're going to have a 10% all speed boost, so definitely want to go with Overdrive on him. So we'll see if we get lucky there and roll Overdrive. So let's go ahead and see what we get here. Just do the first few rolls, and of course if we don't get what we need, I'll just cut back to when we got them all ready to go, which I'll probably just cut back anyway, because I do need to level up all of his gears. If we're very lucky and that 390 bios gets all of his gears to 20, then this will just turn into a tier 2 video as well for Gambit, so it'll go straight to tier 2. Yeah, alright, let's go ahead and cut back to when I get all of this set up, and we'll see where we're sitting with Gambit. Alright, and we are back. So, after a lot of rolling and a lot of gold, we ended up getting Overdrive, finally. I was getting that curse again of rolling Protect the Captain like 100 times. Is pretty ridiculous, but we managed to get what I wanted, so we have Overdrive here. And then for the Obelisk, I ended up just putting on a ignore defense with a damage proc because I'm running quite low on damage proc Obelisk right now. So 180 was the highest I had. So yeah, I just put it on him because I am going to be building him all offensively because he is a monster when it comes to damage. So I definitely want to take advantage of that. His survivability is definitely going to be lacking, but we just going to rely on him doing a lot of burst damage and hopefully taking down the boss before he dies. And then the ignore defense, of course, helps me get to the cap so that I didn't have to roll that on the last part of the gear here. And speaking of the gears, yes, we were able to get all of them to 20, so that's was quite nice. If you can see here, we have 2 biometrics left over, so we just barely made it to all 20, so we are going to be tier 2ing him as well. And for the gear, I ended up rolling it to crit damage because his stats are very easy to cap for crit rate, crit damage, ignore defense. Well, I have that on the Obelisk, so you could have rolled your last gear to ignore defense if you didn't put ignore defense on your Obelisk, but crit rate and crit damage are pretty much going to be capped naturally with Gambit here because of his passive, giving a 30% crit damage increase. His 5th skill is going to give a 25% increase to crit rate, so you have 2 big boosts there. And then when we get him to tier 2 here, we are going to have a guaranteed crit rate, so he's going to be pretty good on the crit rate. And the crit damage, as you can see here, just having that 1 gear rolled to crit damage, we're pretty much almost at the max as well for crit damage. We're at 195, and we're at only 41% for crit rate, but he is getting that 25% crit rate boost every time he uses the 5th skill, so definitely going to have really high stats there for the crit rate, crit damage. Our ignore defense is capped. Our skill cooldown, we're only, 3% off, so nothing too crazy there. I don't think that's going to affect his skill rotation at all. So yeah, we're looking good in terms of all of that. So now all that's left is to get him to tier 2. So let's go ahead and pop one of my tickets on him. As you can see, I have been kind of hoarding these. We have 9 of these tier 2 tickets saved up, and that's just because I've been tier 2ing everyone naturally with just biometrics and resources. So these have kind of started building up. So let's go ahead and use one here on Gambit. And yep, advance him please. There we go. All right, Gambit to tier 2. So instead of this being a rank up video, it is now an account progression video. Gambit is tier 2. So we have the Royal Flush. So all the stuff he's getting from this tier 2 is going to be increased skill damage by 32%, bonus damage 15%, and then increased chain hit damage by 20% when attacking. Very, very nice. So kind of a CTP of energy type effect there, and then increase his guaranteed crit rate, which I mentioned earlier, by 30%. So all offensive there. So yeah, he's just a pure kind of glass cannon. So definitely want to be very careful playing him. What do we have? Trickster. Yep. All right. So now that Gambit is kind of built up relatively okay. I haven't done anything with Uru yet. His stats, like I said, are looking pretty good. So now all that's left is to try him out a little bit. So let's jump into some World Boss Ultimate and see what kind of damage we can pump out with Gambit here with that 180 proc and his tier 2 chain hit passive. So we basically have a CTP of energy type effect going on. So yeah, let's go ahead and hop into that gameplay. Alright, so here we are at World Boss Ultimate. We have Coal Obsidian, and we're going to be taking on stage 39, which is the highest stage that I'm at right now, because I don't really have too many characters that can push this stage. So let's see if Gambit can do this stage for me. So we're going to be using Wasp with her leadership to give that all attack, all defense, all speed. The all speed definitely going to be capped now, and we want Wasp in here just because I want her debuff kind of tier 2 passive because of this stupid blade twister, man. Those things are so annoying to deal with, and I just don't want to deal with that, so I want to make sure that I don't get bled too often here because, like I was saying before, Gambit is kind of a glass cannon. And then we have Shuri for her tier 2 passive, help out with the damage a little bit. For the strikers, we're going with all damage strikers except for anti-venom. Anti-venom should be providing the healing for us if we need it, and all the damage strikers that I did select do have some kind of crowd control mechanic that works on the world boss, so, you know, a charm, the Entice, the Mind Control. So we have all of those going for us. So all of that just to help keep Gambit alive, but it's really going to depend on his damage here, of course, if we can clear the stage, because Coal Obsidian has really high kind of defensive for both energy and physical. So even though we are using the preferred type, an energy damage attacker, it's still a little bit difficult. So let's see what happens here. Hopefully we'll be able to get through this, or at least get a good showing from Gambit. Alright, so let's get our skill off there. Alright, very nice. I was like half a health bar. It's really nice that he has an Iframe on his most damaging skill. Okay, not bad. Damage is actually pretty good considering the stage that we're on, because for my current kind of roster and build in terms of my cards and how much damage my other characters do, pretty much only my tier 3 Sharon Rogers and Scarlet Witch for me can clear this stage. I don't have anyone else that can clear this stage for me. Cable doesn't do it for me, Strife doesn't do it for me, none of my other energy attackers. And with Scarlet Witch, it's a really close clear, so pretty much Sharon Rogers is the only one that I have that can clear this consistently for me. So, yeah, so if Gambit can clear this stage, then it definitely shows his damage output. And I mean, that 5th skill is definitely putting in a lot of work. Alright, yeah, so overall I'm liking this. It'll probably still be a pretty close clear. So with the 180 damage proc, I would say... Ooh, what did we get hit by? I would say Gambit is doing similar damage to my Scarlet Witch that I have. I think that's a pretty accurate comparison. And my Scarlet Witch has a 200% damage proc with a... what is it, like a 25 or 30% mind damage on her obelisk. So yeah, I'm quite impressed with this. Ooh, with this damage. Let's get away from that. Let's heal up and get another 5th skill in here. There we go, that's what I like. Got all the mind control going on, we got some charming. Got everything. Ah, run away. Oh, no you don't. Trying to just teleport over here and get me. Oh, he did teleport over here and get me. Ouch. Where's the health at? Mind control him. Ah! Run away. Our health is dangerously low right now. That's what I was saying. We get hit like once, we're almost out of the game. Get him! We died. Alright, so what do we have? We had 10 bars left and 2 minutes left on the clock. So he actually definitely had the damage there, but yeah, his survivability is pretty low. I needed to get those mind controls off more often, or I probably just needed to play a little bit better, because this is literally my first time playing with Gambit, and that's just kind of the rotation I was trying to do, was basically just use the 5th skill, kite around, go in with the 3rd skill because it has an iframe when the 5th skill is getting close to coming off a cooldown, because then I can just jump right into the 5th skill from the 3rd skill. But it does have an iframe on the 2nd skill, so maybe I can chain together the 2nd, 3rd, and 5th skill somehow. Like I said, I haven't played around with Gambit too much. This is kind of my initial impressions on Gambit here, and yes, I definitely can see his damage living up to the hype that I've been hearing about him, so I'm really happy to have Gambit. I just need to play around with him a little bit more, get used to his skill rotation, kind of kiting around to be a little safer with him, and that kind of thing. But because he does have multiple iframes, you can definitely keep him alive. You don't need immune to guard break because his most damaging skill is an iframe, so you don't have to worry about getting broken out of that skill. So overall, yeah, Gambit, Very fun character, but he's high risk, high reward kind of character, so he's not really going to be someone that you want to invest in if you don't like the kind of slow kind of play style that he has, because you want to make sure you don't get hit, so you're going to be running around quite a bit and then just jumping in there and spamming that 5th skill to get that burst damage and then trying to make sure you don't get hit again kind of thing. So if that play style doesn't suit you, then you're probably not going to enjoy Gambit too much, because he does die very, very quickly, so there's not much room for error, so he can get a little frustrating to play, I would think, and like these higher world boss ultimate stages, because you make one little mistake and boom, he's out, and if he's the only high damage character you brought with, then you're probably not going to clear the stage. But anyway, that's just my initial impressions on Gambit here. Let me know in the comments below if you have a better skill rotation for him that'll keep it, keep him safer a little more. Yeah, just let me know in the comments below, and that'll be it for this video. I hope you guys enjoyed, and of course I will catch you in the next one.